And what is this now, like the third or fourth time something here tonight? We sincerely apologize for some of the technological difficulties I've been having to deal with here tonight as we continue to try and broadcast Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series action here. Again, I was going through issues again at the start of the Dart Indy Ontario Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, round 413 on the Season 2 schedule for Dart on iRacing. Somehow got the whole race through, and then we're getting through all this Indianapolis 250 qualifying, and then it decided to just crash at some point, again, because of reasons. So, with all that being said, we're going to try and hold our fingers crossed we can get through the rest of this just fine, even though we do have a ticker problem. But, behind the scenes, we are figuring out all the laps together and the average miles per hour of all the 4 laps that each driver takes on to decide their position on the starting grid for the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250 within the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series, the first annual one on iRacing in particular. So we're just going to go back to the regular action as per usual, and we'll figure things out behind the scenes. I'm just going to talk about each driver as they go and as they get on the ticker here. So next up right here we have the number 67 of Ivan Reynolds, driving for Ayers Racing in the number 67 Vespa, sponsored by Rampage Coffee Co. And quite frankly, I am terrified to make another tab on Google Chrome because I think that what might have been triggered the last crash.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got the feed that I'm watching on, and then Facebook for communication. That's it.
I will happily.
And the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I will happily stick to the phone for some of these extra little things here. But so yeah, number 67 Vespa of Ivan Reynolds, of course, finished 10th in points last season for Season 1 of the Dart Series in 2022. He also has plenty of Formula 1 experience, 13th, 9th, and 11th in regular series points, respectively, between 2020 and 2022. In each of the All-Star Series seasons in 22 and 23, he finished 18th and 19th in points, respectively. Hasn't had the most time ever in the world to participate within the network, but when he can, he does. Not too shabby. And again, he was able to come home with a top 10 here in tonight's Dart Indy Ontario Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, of course. So there's Reynolds after the first lap. His average miles per hour at 222.648 miles per hour. Again, we'll just remind everyone that on the ticket we're using the race thing where it's like seconds instead of the actual average miles per hour out of all 4 laps. We did kind of have that originally at the start, but then for some reason we had a tie in times between Darcy Cudmore and Jonathan Swainson, which was completely wrong. So I guess kind of the race way to put it here is Jonathan Swainson currently tentatively sitting on the pole for the 3rd annual Indy 250 by a 10th over Hunter Young. Darcy Cudmore 1.13 back. Again, we still are trying to figure out all the lap times and the average miles per hour between all 4 of them behind the scenes. So we will relay all that information once it's all put together and is all good to release to the audience, of course. So, how you doing over there, Jordy?
I'm hanging in there with everything that happened. Somehow I only missed 1 lap, so I'm just figuring that out to get the official average for Hunter Young. As we see Reynolds, he's getting faster.
228.405 that time around. This doesn't seem to be as incredibly fast as the other drivers so far, especially Swainson. Reminds me, I probably should try and find the actual list. Because we did obviously do a draw earlier to determine who would be going and such. I'm just trying to find where the heck that is.
The Facebook group. 229.307 is Reynolds' final time, or final speed, giving him an average of 2:26.226.
And that puts him in fourth on the ticker at 2.11 seconds back. So not incredibly ideal for the number 67, but I mean, hey, he does get, I guess you can say, quote-unquote, practice laps and speeds in his car prior to next Monday's Indianapolis 250. Next up, we have the number 91 of yet another rookie within the Dart Series. It is Patrick Hernandez in the number 91 HF1 Motorsports Subaru. I believe that's the Texas flag I see on the graphic that I have.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the star and the 3 different colors right there. But yes, for him again, you know, he's a rookie here in the series. Again, you know, has never run before.
I mean, he had a good run at Texas, though. Finished fourth.
Yes.
Could be someone to watch.
Tied for 11th with Patrick Hernandez heading into tonight's race. We don't know for sure where he's going to be when we find out the standings for after Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So we'll just see how he's going to do here on his second. It's his second time in the Network and in the Dart Series on an oval. Again, after impressing with a 4th place finish back at Texas. Trying to impress once again, maybe step onto the podium here at Indianapolis, as I think he got a little bit loose going through turn 1 right there. And then into turn 2, looks to be just fine.
Put in a solid start, though, getting immediately into the 238s.
Yeah, again, trying to kind of get that momentum back continue that momentum from Texas. 238.148 previous lap average miles per hour. And I have not been counting how many laps he's done yet, so we'll see. Maybe is it here or is it the next time around?
I think this is only 2 for him.
Okay, so 238.316 that time.
Yeah, right now his average would put him into second.
So we'll see as he comes to the line right here what it's going to turn out to be. At the line, 238.651.
Yeah, that is well, Swainson's got 3 laps that are faster to this point. So, again, you'd have to think Hernandez will probably factor into second place unless, you know, something catastrophic happens. But that is the pace he's looking at.
So off the final turn for the final time, he's going to come to the line, and we'll see as he gets on the ticker. It'll be second. Yep, 238.858. That'll put him in second, so poof.
Yeah, his 4-lap average, for those wondering at home, 238.493.
I mean, quite frankly, right now, if we were to put up the qualifying laps, yeah, it literally repeats everyone. So, it does not work. But
Indy not.
So 0.05 separating Swainson and Hernandez on the ticker.
And 0.3 of a mile per hour in terms of the average speed.
So, but the thing is, though, we still have plenty more good drivers to come through. It's only going to get tighter and tighter from here. And quite frankly, at some point, because we can only show about half the grid or so, we're going to have to start slowly transitioning between taking away the driver info tab, and then we have to put it back on. So we'll get to that eventually.
Just make sure it's on when they cross the line.
Absolutely. And now we're going to get to a familiar face here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. Where's his name? There we go. This guy, quite possibly the most successful open-wheel driver within the network. That would be the number 64 of Darcy Ford. 519E Racing Rolls Royce, sponsored by Wingsnob, Kyle's Fried Chicken, and Barbecue. Man, this guy's got absolutely everything to his credit on his resume. I mean, He was the runner-up in the Darts Series points last season. He got 1 victory. He finished runner-up in points 2020 Formula 1, 2021 Formula 1. He got 11th. He was the 2022 champion with 2 wins. He also won the All-Star Series championship that year with 2 wins also. Then he was the 2023 All-Star Series champion with yet another 2 wins. And then on the NASCAR side, 4th in points in 2020 with 5 wins. He was the 2021 champion with 5 wins again. And then kind of fell off a little bit in 8th in points in 2022. And then for his first season on iRacing, finished 9th in the points. Not too shabby of a transition. He definitely showed progression as the season went on, and he definitely at times even could have arguably had winning speed. I think Las Vegas was one track in particular that I recall for that. So far here for Dart, again transitioning to the open wheel side of this iRacing transition. He hasn't been too shabby if I'm looking at the standings, at least heading into tonight's race. Still have to figure out the results from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. He headed in 6th in points, so we'll have to see where he'll be whenever the standings come out for after the Dart Indy Ontario. And you go ahead, Jordy.
Well, I was just going to tell you, he's thrown down 2 absolute hammers here so far. First guy to get into the 239s for a lap average. Let's see if he tops it.
So 239
what?
239.0, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, 6.9.
Thank you for that. Yeah, his best lap, his previous lap was actually better, 239.189. Again, first guy to break into that 239 threshold, and his 238.897 was the best of the opening laps to this point. So, assuming Ford keeps it clean, probably seeing a new guy at the top of the board here.
At the line. Oh, he dropped. Oh, no, he goes to the top, though. He did drop in that miles per hour, but he goes to the top of the board. We have a new leader in Indianapolis 250 qualifying. It is the 64 of Darcy Ford by now on the ticker it says 0.04 over Jonathan Swainson.
And so that's 238.5 what? Or point whatever, I can't really see.
238.966.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing the real-time spreadsheet math here in the background, folks.
Yeah. So next up, we are back in rookie territory here within the Dart Series. Not network-wise, but series-wise. It is the #1 BMW of C.D. Magrum, driving for GTR Motorsports, sponsored by Nordic Aluminum, A1 Grassroots, Lot Maintenance, and Landscaping. This guy made his Canadian Motorsports Network debut in the 2022 NASCAR Series in the final season on the NASCAR Heat 5 console game. He was the Rookie of the Year with 3 wins. And then in the first NASCAR season on iRacing, he finished 5th in points with a victory in the Talladega Superspeedway playoff race. So he's got all that NASCAR experience, but on the open wheel side, again, this is his first season in this. This is his first ever Indianapolis 250, so he's definitely looking to put on a name for himself. And I mean, quite frankly, he's been very impressive so far within this season of Dart racing thus far. I mean, we take a look at the standings, at least it was heading into Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, where he was tied with Charlie Sears of all drivers for 3rd in points. There's no doubt it'll probably still be up there in the top 5 once we figure out the points after the Dart Indy Ontario race tonight, of course. But again, though, C.D. Magrum coming off finishes of, again, look at the schedule.
Sorry to interject. Does that say 238.79 for the last lap?
Yeah, that's 790, yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought, but yeah.
Yeah, so Magrum again, 3rd place at Alabama, 4th at Long Beach. I believe that's 5, 6, 7, 8th place at Texas. And then it was 3rd place, again, another his 2nd career podium in tonight's race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So again, Jordy, not too bad of a start for the #1.
Yeah, and again, just confirm that last lap here, 238 point something.
8:23.
Okay, so marginally faster. But yeah, just outside of Dylan Baum, model of consistency here, the number 1, and let's see what lap 3 turns in for him.
2:39.049.
Okay, so yeah, he's speeding up. As it stands right now, if he keeps it clean, he's looking at P2 unless he can pull a stunner out on this last lap.
So we'll see if Darcy Ford will be able to hang on to that tentative pole position for the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250, or will CD Mangrum pull off a miracle, shock everyone, and put himself on the tentative pole. 2:38.775, second.
Yeah,
or 776 actually.
Yeah, I mean, result stays the same. Obviously, it just changes the average very minimally. 238.8. We'll round it up to 860. It would be 8.8595.
So Mangrum barely going to beat Jonathan Swainson on the ticker. Mangrum 0.03 behind Darcy Ford. So the number 64 will still hang on to the tentative pole thus far. Here comes the 8th driver to pull off 4 laps. It is the number 12 Audi of Mike Marini, driving for True North Racing. Ontario flag, I believe. Yeah, that would be the Ontario flag, because I literally see Jason Butler's. I'm looking at all the driver graphics and everything, and I see Ontario for Butler. I mean, I'm already used to that enough, so we all are practically. But so yeah, the number 12 of Mike Marini. Let's get the details here. He finished 12th in points last season for Dart. Other than that, for open wheel experience, he did participate in the 2020 Formula 1 series where he finished 9th in points. Really, he hasn't been the most frequent on the open wheel side. It's been more so on the NASCAR side, where in 2020 he finished 7th in points with 1 victory. In 2021 he finished 8th in points, again with another win. And then this past season, for the first season on iRacing in 2023, he finished 17th in the points, fell just short of a playoff spot. He did show some solid speed, especially on the bigger tracks, the super speedways in particular. He technically did get a win in the little test race, little clash race that was done in the preseason before we got underway with the GTR 250 season opener at Daytona International Speedway, of course.
And he opens with a 238.490.
460.
Okay. 6 and 0. The 6 and 9 kind of work together. Nice.
Jordy, can you be a historian here for me? Marini's 2 wins that he got altogether between 2020 and 2021, were they both on road courses?
Both on the same road course, the one we raced earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how ironic. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did mention it in the starting grid.
Yeah.
As that was 238. Is that a 7 or a 1?
785.
Okay.
So, yeah, Mike Marini, ironically, we just got finished off with the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park race for this second season of Dart on iRacing. Marini's only 2 career NASCAR victories, at least the ones that do count for points, from the NASCAR Hi-Fi console game between 2020 and 2021. Both of those wins came at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So, some interesting little details right there. That was a 238.527 for the number 12. So, is
a little bit slower that time around.
Would this be his final lap? I haven't been counting well. Okay.
Yep,
so this is Mike Marini's
final
final lap. Jordy, do you have an estimation for where he may land?
He would tuck in ahead of Hernandez, so that would be P4 if he holds up his current pace.
All right. Let's see what he does. A 238.844 by the looks of it. That will put him in the 4th position.
Yeah, saved his best lap for last. 4-lap average, 238.654.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, literally middle of the pack right now.
Middle of the pack is certainly better than the back of the pack.
It is.
So next up, all right, that'll be the number 80 of another rookie here, and Mark Ouellette, driving for Koopas Racing from Ontario. The Little Res Q Animal Shelter and Sanctuary Chevrolet. Of course, first time participating here within the Canadian Motorsports network. He's been more on the oval side on iRacing, kind of getting his feet wet within the open wheel side of course. He, according to the details, little notes here, he drives in support for rescue and rehabilitation of reptiles, neurodiversity, and autism. So, and it's been kind of an unfortunate start for him. But again, though, you know, he's what we love to see with rookies within the Canadian Motorsports Network are drivers that are willing to learn through all the challenges that they face and all the difficulties. Like this guy has been more positive than ever, and he's usually it's kind of a rarity to get drivers like him within the network. So whenever these little kind of rare gems come through, they're truly special to have, especially when they do have that consistent and positive willingness to learn every single week, no matter where we're going.
Yeah, and I was going to say, that had to be an outlap, right? It says 145 for an average. That's an outlap.
145.726.
It has to be an outlap.
I don't know. We'll see whenever he gets to the line here once again. 228.118.
That's more like it. 118, you said, yeah.
Yeah, 118.
Yeah, as I say, I think the one previous was an outlap. I just didn't remember it actually showing an average before.
If you want some random NHL news, the Montreal Canadiens lost 5-2 to the New Jersey Devils, and the Maple Leafs beat the Capitals 4-1.
Damn right they did.
Oh, the pain.
However, not painful for Mark Ouellette into the 233s.
Wow, 233.733, yes.
Okay, 5 mile per hour jump. That's the single biggest lap to lap jump we've seen so far. So who knows? Maybe this is the 80 getting comfortable. You were talking about him being more comfortable on kind of ovals and, you know, your more traditional layouts. So yeah, we'll see what the 80's got here.
So at the line, 233.821.
Okay, so a little bit faster. And at this point, if he's able to squeak a little bit faster, he would leapfrog, or he'd slot into 7th ahead of Darcy Cudmore. If he's able to, he's got a little ways to go yet. It's 238.891 versus 231.916 for averages. Oh, okay, he's in. So that first lap, it must have actually counted. Not sure what happened there as he comes into pit lane.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that unless he's just... Yeah, right, seeing behind the scenes.
We've got a little hold.
I don't know what's going to be up with that unless he crosses the line and it just gives him something. I have no clue what's up there unless maybe Mark made a mistake. We'll just have to see here.
But wouldn't a mistake just abort the lap entirely?
I don't know. This is odd.
Unless there was a miscount or something. Yeah, this one's puzzling in real time.
See, I don't know what's up there with the number 80 because it looks like the number 17 of Corbin McCauley will be the next driver to step up here, but he's not going just yet. So we're just kind of seeing here what's going to go up with what's going to be up with the number 80.
Yeah, let me just see if I can actually pull up the post that has the order because I thought McCauley was later.
So an odd situation here so far, but I guess we might as well just kind of recap the 8 drivers, I guess besides Ouellette for now, that have gone so far. Darcy Ford still leading the way with the tentative pole for the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250 here within the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series on iRacing. C.D. Mankrum second, Jonathan Swainson rounding out the podium at least so far. Mike Marini, Patrick Hernandez, Hunter Young, Darcy Cudmore, and Ivan Reynolds rounding out all the 8 drivers. We're still trying to figure it out with Mark Ouellette behind the scenes. So we might have a little bit of time here until we continue this qualifying session. But, I mean, so far, no surprising names towards the top. I mean, again, Darcy Ford coming in with, again, that resume I mentioned of him earlier. It's no surprise for him to be up there. And then C.D. Mankrum continuing his consistent momentum throughout his rookie season in the Dart Series thus far. Although when it comes to rookies, though, we still got to wait out for Dylan Baum and Charlie Sears to come through, because after that battle we saw at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the the Dart Indy Ontario that we completed earlier tonight, I'm waiting for them to act before I really say anything.
Guess what? You don't have to wait long. Sears and Baum are the next 2.
Oh, good Lord.
Yep. Yeah, and then those 2, yeah, as you say, they've kind of been the measuring sticks so far. And yeah, like the pace has been really good. It's been ramping up, certainly, but we'll get kind of a real measure of it over the next couple drivers, I think.
Absolutely. So still no word on the Mark Ouellette situation here. I guess an even more painful fact with the Montreal Canadiens is that the three of the goals from New Jersey were by a former Hab.
Love it.
And I'm surprised that my broadcast software is still going, because I can hear outside my headphones my computer fans are going crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're just meant to hear my voice, that's all.
Oh, Lord.
He might not help you either.
No, if it helps at all, it is helping.
Okay. I mean, that's all up to you. That's not me.
Yeah, you gotta take on that. You gotta take on that self-confidence, you know.
Yep.
That was very enthusiastic.
I mean, I've been there. I know it. I also don't want to get too long-winded in case we find a resolution.
Fair enough. All right, well, we have a car going.
Chucky, where you at, Bretta?
See, I don't know what's up there with.
Don't miss, Charlie. I need the time or the speed.
Yeah, obviously.
So 32 is going to do what first? It's gonna just. Oh, I guess maybe that was his outlap.
Yeah,
okay.
that's his outlap. Yeah, but
okay.
All right, I'll get on to the explaining once again. This is the number 32 of Charlie Sears, the rookie driving for 499 Racing in the Chevrolet. Sears comes in again as the first and only driver in Canadian Motorsports Network history to have a pro license on the iRacing service. He is in, let me get my details. Where the heck are they? There we go, yeah.
238.587. It actually came into focus.
Yeah, 238.587, but what I was going to say was he's in the Grand Prix Turn Racing iRacing series. That's what it's called. But yeah, it's nice to have a driver of his caliber, and some with the pro license coming into the network. That certainly is special to heaven. It's very historical for the network itself, and he's been certainly impressing so far within this first season. His rookie season here in the network and in the Dart Series on iRacing, of course. A 238.581 that time around.
Yeah, almost identical to the opening speeds. Opening was 587 instead of 581, so consistent, if not getting faster.
So Sears, so far his results throughout the season have been, I remember at Barber, and now the Grand Prix of Alabama, he had won the pole, but he DNF'd on the first lap, and then he got the dominant victory at Long Beach. Then he DNF'd in the lap 1 crash at Texas, and then a heated battle with Dylan Baum, made a bit of a mistake a little too early on the final lap, still wound up finishing second. So it's been a roller coaster of a campaign, and then he finished second at a roller coaster on the circuit tonight at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So a 238.505, by the way, for the 32 that time around.
So now, his pace would only slot him into 5th.
Again, there's still time.
Yeah, he's got to pull out a monster here to move up the board a little bit.
So at the line here, it's going to be a 238.726.
And let's
5th.
see. Yeah, that only gets him to 5th.
Wow.
And yeah, not especially close to Marini in 4th. But I've got a little bit of an explainer on the Marcoulette situation here. So what's going on is, this sounds like another iRacing bug, quite honestly. So reading it directly from Jason Butler, Mark's first lap didn't count because his pit stall was behind the start-finish line. We will time his first lap after the session and figure him out. He's the only car in that position.
Charlie just commented in the live stream chat, I can't turn left. Dylan has this one.
So, okay, turning left seems to be a fundamental thing you need to do on a track like this one.
Yes. If you turn right, none of your laps or speeds even count.
True.
So I assume that was the outlap there for the number 3 Toyota, so
yeah.
Might as well explain him a little bit right here. The number 3 SimLeaguePro.com Team 44 Racing Toyota, also in his first season of dart racing. He's coming off a rookie campaign in the 2023 NASCAR Series, Season 4, where he fell just short of a Championship 4 spot, and quite frankly, had he made the Final 4, he would have won the championship because he won the season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway, and that was, by the way, a 239.397.
Absolutely nut shot on the field here. That's the fastest lap of anybody so far.
Monster slap. I mean, again, this guy's been we can just call him a monster straight up. That's what he's been so far this season, with 3 wins within 4 weeks, and then that one other race was a DNF back at Long Beach. So this guy, again, that momentum from that season finale win in the NASCAR Series, that momentum is just continuing. He's just going to keep getting more confident from there. That was a 239.308, by the way.
Okie doke.
So, again, the number 3 Toyota, Dylan Baum, man, he's been the class of the field so far this season. Just knowing how he and Charlie Sears, like the pace between those two have been so far through the first 4 rounds, their patterns have been a little bit different, in terms of DNFs and wins and blah, blah, blah. Charlie Sears still has some ground to gain on Baum, and will likely be praying that Baum does kind of maybe a couple times in the next couple of weeks get maybe a few worse finishes than him to start catching up. 239.562 that time.
That is gauntlet thrown, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's pretty much this time around he's going to pull off something, and then what you're saying is he's more than likely going to get the tentative pole.
At present, he's 0.4 of a mile per hour faster on average.
So coming down the front straightaway for the final time. Actually, there was one point off turn 4 where I did see him barely close to the wall there. 239.486. Yep. That puts him on top.
Yeah, so 239.438 is his average. As now we're going to see the series founder make his way out onto the track.
Does this guy, is this guy never going to stop?
Well, how many times have we said, raw speed? This guy's great. He is, and he's just put down 4 laps. Every one of them was faster than any lap that anybody else has done.
So next up after Dylan Baum, we have the number 2 Ford of Daniel Cudmore, driving for the Winston Racing Group, sponsored by Alpha Flow Racing, Archie Design, Cudmore Design, and Darcy Allen PR. Yes, of course, the Canadian Motorsports Network owner and founder, Dart Series founder as well. Looking at his information, let me pull up his statistics right here. He finished 3rd in points last season for the Dart Series. He was 5th in points, 2020 Formula 1. He was the 2021 Formula 1 Series champion with 1 win. He finished 4th in points in 2022, by the way. 238.525 for him that time around.
Respectable opener.
Not bad, yeah, for sure. 9th in points, 2021 Formula 1 All-Star Series season. For the 2023 season, he finished 10th in points. On the NASCAR side, between 2020 and 2023, he has respectively finished 10th, 15th, 19th, and 19th. So on the oval side, there hasn't been as much success, although he definitely pulled off a lot of impressive underdog performances in this past 4th season of NASCAR racing on iRacing. Even got a couple podiums. I remember Atlanta for sure. 238.615 that time for the number 2.
Okay, so picking up a little bit.
Okay. Did you not just see that with the right rear? That was he got loose there off turn 1.
I quite literally was looking at my other screen putting that time in, so I can go back and watch it.
I could have sworn.
Folks all can.
I could have sworn I saw it almost swing right there.
Well, I mean, it's knock on some wood here, but it's been clean all the way through here so far.
And you just jinxed it. Congratulations.
I know.
238.209.
Okay, so that wobble to begin the lap, that would have had to have hurt him.
Indeed, so I assume final lap here?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would slot him in between Hernandez and Young. So he's looking at P8 right now.
He'll be looking to pull off some form of a miracle here to maybe push himself up. Just going to quickly look at the results from last season based on him. And also at the line, a 238.944.
That is a ballsy lap, sir. And
so, 7th.
Yeah, that's enough to jump Hernandez by, less than 1/10 of a mile per hour there.
So Daniel Cudmore will slot himself into the 7th position right there. Going off his history, by the way, in the Indy 250, in the qualifying races that were in the inaugural one, the practice race, quote-unquote, finished 2nd in his heat race, and then he finished 2nd. He finished runner-up in the Indy 250. In the one that counted for points for the 2022 Season 1 for Dart, he finished 2nd again after qualifying 12th. So, again, maybe not the best qualifier, but this guy seems to have maybe the clutch factor later on as the race goes on. So that'll be something to keep an eye on whenever next Monday comes around. So that was the number 2 of Daniel Cudmore. Now we have, I guess if we had a most popular favorite driver award in this, within the network, within this series, I think this guy may just straight up steal it. It's pretty much like a given. It's unanimous. The number 10 of Jason Butler, driving for 519E Racing in, again, the number 10 Rolls Royce, sponsored by Rampage Coffee Co. and Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. This guy, again, it's almost like Daniel Cudmore, too. He's another guy that's had success on the open wheels side. He finished 7th in points last season for Dart. On the Formula 1 side, it's 7th in points in 2020, 3rd in points in 2021, including 1 win, 6th in points in 2022, 239.145 for him that time around.
That's a fantastic opener.
Absolutely.
Second best opener of the bunch so far.
And then in the Formula 1 All-Star Series, he finished 3rd in 2022 with 3 wins, and he finished 4th in 2023 with 2 wins. On the NASCAR side, he finished 17th, 18th, 22nd, and 13th in points. So, again, on the NASCAR side, hasn't had the best luck, but he certainly has shown off his underdog performances, and quite frankly, there were a couple of races where he literally led laps, so not bad. A 239.128 that time, so he's sticking in the 239s. This guy could surprise.
He's consistent. Right now, if this pace was to hold, he'd move to 2nd.
This would be absolutely huge for the number 10, who, again, if we look at the standings, at least before Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, he's currently sitting 13th. So he's definitely looking to turn his season around a little bit. Again, looking at the results so far, he has finishes of, let me see here, I think it'd be, actually, I'll get him here, this miles per hour here. Finally dropping below the 239 with a 238.787.
Okay, so if that pace was to hold, he's he's barely dropped behind Darcy Ford right now.
Okay. So,
he hit the wall.
Oh.
We're being told the wall.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be a big old donut on lap 4.
Yeah, Butler.
Yeah, that sends him plummeting.
Yeah, we'll get him at the line here, and then I'll mention his finishes so far. It would have been a 238.869, but unfortunately, because of that, it's not going to count. And with that being said,
yeah, he would have been 3rd.
I assume, he just doesn't, he just stays there, just doesn't count. So, unfortunately, a guy who, again,
None of his laps count.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah. His pace was 3rd, but because of that wall tap, he's getting nothing. Oh, that's tragic. I swear, this guy always seems to have the worst luck at, like, the most crucial points.
Yeah, like, that was probably, outside of his victories, that's probably, like, that'd be one of the better runs he's had, as we just have a random dude standing up in the crowd.
So, yeah, Butler's finishes so far have been 14th, 5th, and 14th. And then a Canadian Tire. You might have a better memory than I do.
For what, sorry?
Tonight's race, Canadian Tire Butler.
I think he was one of the guys who was on the lead lap, so that would have put him 5th.
I think it would have been a top 5, so again, that would not bad. So it would have been 14th, 5th, 14th, 5th, then if that is true. So ain't that interesting, but anyways, we now move on to this next driver, being the number 97 of Ty Higginbottom, driving for Tornado Alley E Racing in the United States Air Force Toyota. His experience has certainly been interesting within the Canadian Motorsports Network. If I pull his statistics here, last season in Dart, he finished 11th in points. He finished 7th in points in the 2022 Formula 1 Series. He was the 2023 F1 All-Star Series points runner-up with 3 wins. He finished in the NASCAR Series 3rd in 2021 with 3 wins. He was the 2022 champion with 4 wins. And last season, 6th in points with 1 win in 2023. 239.172 for him that time around.
Okay, good start.
So again, a guy that's been, equally successful both on the open wheel side and also on the stock car side. So he's definitely got that diversity, which certainly has helped him. And if we think about Higginbottom again, we remember back at Texas, him and Dylan Baum going at it there in that late race battle. Higginbottom falling just short by 24 1/1000ths of a second at the line. And then I guess just because, for comedy purposes, he and Baum crashed hard after the checkered flag, thankfully.
Indeed, as that's a
301.
301?
Yeah, 239.301 that time.
Okay. I mean, Higgy's looking good so far. Let's see if he is able to keep it clean. As Jason Butler indicated to me that, it was just a little bit of a push too hard in his case.
So in the inaugural Indy 250, Ty Higginbottom finished 10th after I think he qualified second, if I'm seeing that correctly. Yes, that is correct. 239.433 that time for the 97.
Okay, he's putting in a good challenge here, folks.
In the second annual Indy 250, Higginbottom finished 4th after I believe that's qualifying 3rd. So this guy has a good resume from the Indy 250. But now, again, on iRacing, it definitely will make things more interesting. But so far here, judging by what Jordy's saying, it sounds like the 97 might have something to put up here towards the top of the board. So we'll see when he comes to the line this time. It's going to be a...
looking at P2.
239.389, second place.
Yeah, and clear of Darcy Ford by about 0.3 of a mile per hour between second and third. So... much closer to Baum than he is to Ford in the kind of split between first and third.
Not too bad. Again, this guy qualifies and at least historically, he's qualified and finished well in the Indianapolis 250. And I mean, again, that resume.
This is showtime right here coming up.
And I mean, again, based off of Higginbottom's resume too in the network overall. Whew. And yes, speaking of that, yes. I guess the best way I can describe this is the man on the other side of my wall. It's the number 17 of Corbin McCauley, driving for Hurricanes E-Motorsports, the number 17 Honda, also carrying Oyster Bed Speedway on the car as he will begin his 4-lap run right here. McCauley's resume is double as long as what I was mentioning with Higginbottom. He finished 15th in points last season for Dart. Only participated, I think, in like 7-10 races. He was the 2020 Formula One Series champion with a mind-boggling 10 wins. Dropped to 10th in points the next year. He was the runner-up in 2022. 2023 Formula One All-Star Series, he finished 12th with 3 wins. On the NASCAR side, he's finished 2nd, 7th, 10th, and 4th. And again, coming off the 8-win season where he wasn't able to pull off the championship, unfortunately, due to a mistake on pit road. 239.728 for the 17.
That is the fastest lap of anybody.
But
and that's his opener.
But again, it's going to be a matter of if he can keep up the average miles per hour.
Yeah, that is an absolute hammer shot to start, though.
Indeed. McCauley's resume for the Indy 250. If I can go back here, we'll just get him to complete this here. 239.776.
Okay, so only getting faster.
McCauley did not participate in the inaugural Indy 250. In the second one, he, by the looks of it, DNF'd out of it after qualifying 4th. So, bit of a weird history in the Indy 250 for him, but again, being on iRacing, that gives him plenty of an advantage. Although, again, he did get involved in a lap traffic fiasco and wrecked himself out of the Dart Indy or Ontario tonight Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, so hopefully that doesn't break anything out of him. A 239.790, he's just getting faster.
Yeah, like this would, on average, he would clear Baum by over 0.3 of a mile per hour if his current pace holds.
So he'll be coming to the line here for one last time. I guess speaking of Oyster Bed Speedway too, this guy is going to become a real-life driver in 2024 as he has a number 17 mini stock Neon that he is preparing for the 2024 racing season. So he's both on the sim racing rig and he's also racing real life. A 239.952. Oh my gosh.
All right, that is going to very safely count as my first Jesus of the night. 239.812, the average over the 4 laps.
0.06 over Dylan Baum, absolutely destroying everyone right there. If we take off the onboard tab, we have, I believe, 2 drivers remaining.
Correct.
Yes, beginning with the number 15 of Kyle Knoll. So, again, we have to remove the onboard tab because, quite frankly, you cannot see the rest of the drivers that have participated so far. Should be noted Jason Butler and Mark Roulette are both, you know, they're not counting because of certain circumstances that were mentioned earlier. But we have 2 cars remaining that will try to put up a official lap and try to make it 15 out of 17. So this is the number 15 of, again, another rookie, and Kyle Knoll driving for Storm Surge E-Sports, the number 15 Toyota.
Yeah, maybe just throw the tab
left side tires. Left side tires were in the grass right there going through turn 4.
So that would invalidate it immediately, wouldn't it? Or is it just walls?
I think it's just the wall.
Okay.
I think some other drivers have barely touched the grass, and it hasn't done much, I would imagine. Unless someone says something behind the scenes. But, yeah, for Kyle Knoll's experience, again, he first began racing within the Canadian Motorsports Network in the recent Season 4 for the NASCAR Series, where he finished 15th in the points. A guy that certainly had the raw speed and raw pace every single weekend, and also a very aggressive driver too, but just fell short too many times, especially on the bigger tracks. A 237.600 that time around. But yeah, the number 15 so far has been okay so far, kind of mid-pack pace so far throughout his rookie season in the Dart Series. But this is a guy also, too, like, he may be aggressive and he may, you know, have that raw speed, raw talent and may not have the best luck, but he's also a respectful guy and he tries his hardest, so that's what we'd like to see. And this time by at the line, he's going to get a 238.838, so he certainly improves right there.
Nope.
Any estimate on where he might place?
Working on that.
10-4.
So 238.2, that would have him ahead of... He'd be ahead of Young, behind Hernandez, so that would be 11th right now.
So he'll certainly be looking to improve himself here as he comes to the line for the white flag for him. The number 15 this time gets a 238.189.
Okay, so that will keep him in about the same spot.
So he'll be looking to pull off a miracle here to maybe try and get himself into the top 10, maybe even surprise us all with a top 5. But again, unless Jose Mercado has freaking rocket fuel in his car, it's more than likely that we pretty much have most of the top part of the field settled.
Well, you say that. I got an update here from Jason Butler. We've got an official speed on Ouellette's first lap, which I'll share after Noel's final.
A 238.664, so actually he did improve that time.
Okay.
Or, no, wait, no, wait. Okay, no, never mind. He secured 11th.
Still 11th.
Yeah.
And so 238.2, yeah, so still 11th. So Ouellette's first lap comes in at a 232.56, which puts him at an average of 232.058, which would slot him in just ahead of Darcy Cudmore, it would appear. So 13th.
Not too shabby. So here we go with, for some reason he doesn't have a face. This is the number 9 of Jose Mercado driving for GTR Motorsports in the BMW. For his experience in the network so far, he's been more on the NASCAR side, although he does have one Indianapolis 250 start, which was in the inaugural one, the kind of the practice one, quote unquote, where he, let's see, he finished 5th in the qualifying race, and then in the race itself, he ended up finishing 11th after qualifying an overall 3rd. And then after that, he hasn't done anything else within Dart or Formula One, other than this current season, of course. But we'll just get his miles per hour here, 238.404.
238.404. Okay.
So, Mercado finished 5th in points in the 2020 NASCAR Series with 3 wins. He finished 5th in 2021 with 1 win. 2022, he finished 4th with 2 wins. And this recent season, he finished 18th in points, falling short of a playoff spot. His transition to the iRacing service was a little rough. But there were some times where he actually wasn't too bad, and it's kind of one of those cases where sometimes the aggressive style can work. And I mean, to be fair, in his rookie season in the Dart Series, he's actually been mightily impressive with plenty of top 10 consistency, as he got a 239.274 there.
Okay, he finds the rocket fuel on that lap. That's interesting.
You know what? Based on his consistency through 4 rounds so far, this is the guy I'm paying attention to possibly upset here for this Indy 250.
So right now, if he's able to maintain this pace, he'd slot in around 6th.
We'll see what he pulls off here. Another 239. 386.
Okay, still getting faster.
This could get interesting.
Yeah, so his next target appears to be, well, let's just see where he slots in. So right now, he'd slot into 5th between Ford and Mangrum.
I wonder if he might even be trying to chase maybe the 3rd position, maybe try to get on the qualifying podium perhaps, but we'll see as he come. White flag this time, is it?
No, this is final lap. This is final lap here.
Oh, checkered, okay.
Final lap of the evening.
And 239.569. 4th.
Wowzers.
Absolutely impressive there for the number 9. Again, he qualified 3rd overall in the inaugural 250, but again, that was back on Project Cars 2. So here on iRacing, what a campaign he's had so far. But with all that being said, though, that does it for everyone, because this man that's popped up right here, that is your official 3rd annual Indianapolis 250 pole sitter.
Yeah, and he just absolutely kind of wrecked everyone and left.
Basically.
That's what it boiled down to. Like, getting a lap that close to 240, that's mind-boggling. And yeah, he pretty much just, he laid down the gauntlet from his opening lap, which was already faster than everybody else, and then just kind of, figuratively kicked everybody in the nuts after that.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, I decided I would wait until now to interview Dylan Baum, who, of course, won the Dart Indy Ontario earlier tonight before the Indianapolis 250 qualifying. So I'm going to go and check and see if I can get him. I know it's pretty late. I could, quite frankly, also try to interview Corbin very quickly. So I'll get to Dylan Baum.
He literally did just ask you.
Yes, I just saw that. I'm going to quickly get to Dylan Baum first, see if he's still here. And if it's not him, I'll get to Corbin. We'll just see how it goes, so just stay tuned. We'll come back with somebody, that's for sure. Jordy, I assume that's it for you?
I think so. Maybe we'll stick around after the Indy next week, but I think this is a long enough night for now. So,
Jordy, that'll be it. Not just yet for me, but that'll be it for you. So, yes, the other voice of the Canadian Motorsports Network, he's been here since the very beginning. In Jordy Carraher on the other side of the country in Alberta, Canada. Jordy, thank you very much for once again providing your integral historical and educational insight and mathematical insight as per usual every single Tuesday night, or it'll be Monday night next week for the 3rd Annual Indianapolis 250. So once again, thank you very much, along with also the Dart Indy Ontario. We will see you next Monday night for the 3rd Annual 2023 Indianapolis 250, where Corbin McCauley, the number 17 Honda, will start on the pole.
All right, take her easy.
All right, stay tuned, folks. Hang on here. There we go. Welcome back here, folks, for the post-race winner interview. Of course, we do still have the 3rd Annual Indianapolis 250 qualifying stuff still up, but I decided to wait until now just so we could quickly get through the Dart Indy Ontario and also get through Indy 250 qualifying. We saved the best for last. This is the number 3 of Dylan Baum. 3 victories within 4 weeks. He is the 2023 Dart Indy Ontario winner. Dylan Baum, man. 3 wins in 4 weeks. You have been on an absolute roll. And again, it was the 2nd week in a row where you had someone right at your rear bumper, and thankfully a mistake was able to get you to, fly away on the second half of that final lap from Charlie Sears. But just take us through that race overall, what it was like battling against another fellow talented rookie in Sears, and just, man, were you expecting it at all? 3 wins in 4 weeks. Were you expecting that at all?
No, definitely not. I did feel quite good coming into this week from what happened last week, and the fact that I actually kind of started to like the car again. Well, I did not expect I would actually be fighting Charlie for that. He seemed like in practice like rapid based on what he was putting in the group chat and stuff before the race. But I don't know. I guess the dice just rolled the right way for me, and we duked it up there with him, and we won. It's a bit sad that he, not once but twice at the same corner drove into the back of me and broke his front wing. But hey, I didn't necessarily do anything wrong. I was kind of driving my line, and I guess he gets a really, really good one at it there and gassed it up too early and hit the back of me, which is sad, unfortunate, but I don't think it would have mattered. I defended that position for like the 30 laps before that successfully every time. I don't think it would have been the 31st time that broke it.
There we go. Good stuff there. So now you're continuing that momentum. You're continuing to have that confidence that continues to build over these past couple of weeks. But now you just completed your 4 laps here for the 3rd Annual Indianapolis 250 qualifying, your first career Indianapolis 250 within the Canadian Motorsports Network, the Dart Series, first one on iRacing, of course. But for your first career Indy 250, You set the second best average miles per hour out of all your 4 laps, so you will be starting second in the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250. Just take us through what those laps felt like, how your car felt, and what is it going to take to try and get 4 victories within 5 weeks, try to get that second oval victory, and try to put your name in the history books for the Indy 250.
I thought I had that. I thought I had it wrapped up. But no, Mr. Poleman, I guess he's Ryan Newman now. Corbin McCauley comes in and steals it like he always does. He wasn't supposed to do that. This isn't NASCAR anymore, okay? He's supposed to let everyone else have a chance at getting poles, but, well, I guess he couldn't let that happen here. But I'm still happy with second. I did literally no practice before this. That was just my improvisation right there. So I would have taken not last. And to get second is just great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Second is certainly better than last. So with all that being said, we don't have a whole lot of time here. We got to get this done. I got to, as a matter of fact, go and interview the Indy 250 pole sitter, of course, for the 3rd annual one. So other than that, everyone, that does it for this post-race winner interview, at least for the Dart Indy Ontario Canadian Tire Motorsport Park round 4 of 13 for season 2 of the Dart Series on iRacing. Dylan Baum, 3 victories within 4 weeks. He will continue to just shatter everyone in the points. Again, it was like 30-plus points heading into tonight's race, and now it's probably maybe 50 or 60 or something, but there's no doubt that he's going to continue being the perennial contender for the 2nd annual Greg Moore Cup. So again, the number 3 Toyota SimLeaguePro.com Team 44 Racing rookie. Dylan, congratulations on yet again another win, and we'll see you next Monday for what may very well be 4 wins in 5 weeks, and it could be very well, putting your name in the history books for the Indianapolis 250. So again, congratulations. Go celebrate well and safe, and we'll see you at Indy next Monday.
I sure will. I have a very vetted interest in this. AJ did poorly in this last year. I want to avenge that for Team 44 boys, and let's go win this, I guess, is what I'm going to say.
I mean, that's pretty much all you have to say. Just go out and get the job done. You have that momentum from recent weeks. So, yeah, once again, congratulations. And so with all that being said, now we're going to take it off the number 3, and we're now going to go to the guy he's put his name into the history books as the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250 pole sitter. We're going to get him here coming through Discord. So just give me a second here to see how this will go through. Let's see. All right, do you got a copy, sir?
I do, but you're really quiet for some reason. Hold on. Try that.
Oh, yeah. Is this better?
Yes, sir. We're good.
And, I'm just keeping it live at this point. Just no point in a break right there. Just transition right over from Dylan Baum to you. So here is, I guess, the post-qualifying pole sitter interview instead of post-race winner interview, I guess. It is the number 17 Honda of Corbin McCauley, again, coming off a Dart Indy Ontario, where unfortunately he wrecked out late in the race due to a lap traffic fiasco. An incredible turnaround in the 3rd annual Indianapolis 250 qualifying session, where he practically destroyed everyone else and ended up going out and winning the frickin' pole by, the mathematics more than me. I guess the basic way I can just put it is you were the class of the field. So, just kind of take us through a very quick summary of what Canadian Tire was like, and then just how you were able to all turn it around and just kind of just kill everyone whenever Indy 250 qualifying happened.
Yeah, man. So basically Canadian Tire. I mean, it was going smoothly, but it's a racetrack I really enjoy, and it was kind of a roller coaster race. Not gonna lie. was fun starting up on the front row, but yeah, I just had a little run in with some lap traffic. It happens. It's a racing deal, but just goes to show my my luck in open wheel hasn't really been good when it comes to the Canadian E-Motorsports network. But I guess I've turned that around when it comes to this qualifying session, because my God, I've done some practicing for this qualifying for a while now, at least over a week, and like I've never ran times that fast. So I mean, you can't go wrong with practicing, and then all of a sudden you go out and actually do it in practice, and you're better than any of the other times you ever practiced for it. So I mean, can't go wrong with that, eh?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely nothing. But I guess the one big question I have is, considering kind of the luck that there has been with open wheel, because you do say your luck isn't that great. Starting on the pole for the third annual Indianapolis 250, what is it going to take to survive all 100 laps and be the first car to take that checkered flag and put your name in the history books?
Well, honestly, the thing is about the Indy 250 is like it's a strategy race. It's going to be something where we're going to have to save fuel. Just because I'm starting on pole doesn't mean I'm going to stay there the whole time. It's not like a NASCAR race where you can just kind of stay out front and hit a pit stop and all that kind of stuff. There's drafting involved at this track, and if you're the leader, you're going to be burning more fuel than all the other guys that are in the draft, only running half throttle. So like, to be completely fair with you, being the pole sitter for a race like this is kind of a detriment, because you're outside of the draft, you're in clean air, which means you're going to be burning more fuel, which means you might have to come to pit road earlier than other guys. And but other than that, I mean, being the pole sitter for this race is pretty darn cool. I mean, like, I put down an absolute heater of 4-lap average, and basically like the whole goal of the qualifying tonight was basically like, with this car, with how quick it is and how much scrub off speed there is in the corners, you want to keep the wheel as straight as you possibly can in the corners. Because I was watching qualifying, and I noticed a lot of guys, whenever they were coming into the corner, they'd whip the car into the corner. So like, they'd be up on the wall on the straightaway, and then whenever they go in to turn into the corner, they just like crank the wheel left. But for me, I knew if I didn't do the best way to do it, to not scrub speed off, is to ease into the corner as much as you can, and don't put as much load on the front tires, because the more load you put on the front tires, that's more speed you're taking away from the cars. So my goal was to take a wide arc into the corners, so I could get a good exit off the corners as well, but doing it as smoothly as possible so that I don't scrub off as much speed. And evidently my game plan worked, and I put down some heaters of some pretty like crazy laps, and I never expected to go that fast, honestly. And but the way I did it, obviously it worked out in the end, and I'm sitting on the pole for the Indy 250.
And one final quick question: the speed and I had a term in mind, but I can't remember now. But just what's gone on recently, in particular with Charlie Sears and Dylan Baum, like those guys. That's two rookies right there that have come into this series red hot. And again, Sears did only qualify 9th for tonight's race. Baum, on the other hand, in 2nd. But again, though, those two have been, kind of the perennial contenders for the 2nd annual Greg Moore Cup so far. So it's kind of like those two guys so far. Like, I don't know how to ask this properly, but it's like,
well, I mean,
do you kind of get what I'm saying here? Like,
yeah.
that kind of challenge against them, like how they've been doing so far. Do you feel nervous by that at all, or is it just, or do you think you have what it takes to kind of overcome them? Challenge them, like whatever.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Like, they're the Baum and Sears. They're the class of the field right now. They're absolutely smoking everyone in the Dart series so far. I know Charlie is he's technically classified as a rookie, but I mean he's not really a rookie. I mean, the guy has a pro license in the Grand Prix Touring series, so like he performs in the top level iRacing series for the Dallara IR01 car. So I mean, I don't really classify him as a rookie, because he knows his stuff. He's really good at this, and Dylan Baum too. I mean, like, my God, I going into the season, I did not expect the performances I'm seeing out of him. He's doing an absolutely fantastic job. He's able to keep up with Sears all the time. I'm struggling a little bit getting a handle of this car. I'm obviously a big time stock car guy. Like, I'm into the NASCAR. I'm into the short track stuff. Open wheel isn't really my forte, I guess you could say. It's not something that I'm very interested in open wheel, and I want to learn and I want to get better. but it's not something that I'm at there. I'm not to that point yet, you know? So like, seeing Sears and Baum out on the track, I'm actually learning from them. I'm learning the lines. I'm learning my braking points. Being behind them is actually helping me out quite a bit. And, hopefully as the season rolls on, I'm able to contend with them a little bit more and, just learn from them because they're the class of the field and it's going to be really hard to beat them.
Absolutely. Now it's almost 12 p.m. for us here in our time zone, so we pretty much have to
actually.
Yeah, or AM. Yeah, damn it. So we do have to wrap this up, of course. But yes, that is the number 17 Honda of Corbin McCauley. He is your third annual Indianapolis 250 pole sitter for next Monday night. So once again, Corbin, congratulations. A hell of a turnaround after the rough luck in the Dart Indy, Ontario. We will see you next Monday night, and hopefully we may be very well talking to you post-race after the Indy 250 pole sitter winner. Who knows? It could happen. You showed that speed. You just got to keep that up and play the strategies well this upcoming Monday and be able to, again, pull something off against guys like, Dylan Baum, Charlie Sears, even Darcy Ford was showing off speed there as well. CD Magram, too. Like, it's going to be a competitive race. You will be up there, no doubt. We'll see you then when you put on a show.
I appreciate you as always, Regan. I love being in these interviews with you. And just going to throw out a little plug right here because I can. Go to Facebook. Go on the good old Facebook app or your computer or whatever you want, wherever device you use Facebook on. Search up McCauley Racing. You will find my real life new racing team on the Facebook page. I'm endeavoring into the world of real life racing come next year at Oysterbed Speedway in the mini stock division. I've also got sponsorship opportunities available. So if you'd like to sponsor my car, you like to have your name on my car, just hit me up on Facebook, Corbin McCauley. You'll find me on there, but you'll also find the Facebook page. You can message that as well. But it's my little sponsor plug right now. I appreciate you as always, Regan, and I'm excited to start on the hole next week.
Yeah, I don't blame you whatsoever for pulling that off. But once again, congratulations, and we'll see you next Monday night, buddy.
Yes, sir. Full sending will occur.
Me personally, firewall deep, but not professionally. Yeah. And thus, that officially does it right there for all the action here tonight between the 2023 Dart Indy Ontario Canadian Tire Motorsport Park and also the third annual Indianapolis 250 qualifying session to decide the starting grid for next Monday's event. We might as well toggle the unofficial results here. McCauley first, Baum second, Ty Higginbottom third, Jose Mercado fourth, Darcy Ford fifth, C.D. Magram sixth, Jonathan Swainson seventh, Mike Marini eighth, Charlie Sears ninth, Daniel Cudmore in 10th, Patrick Hernandez, Kyle Knoll, Hunter Young, Darcy Cudmore, Ivan Reynolds, Jason Butler, and Mark Ouellette rounding it all out. I think Ouellette might actually be 13th or 14th maybe instead because of some errors earlier, but we'll find it out once we get to next Monday night. So, with all that being said, yes, that does it for tonight's action. Thank you very much to all of you for listening and watching to this live production of Canadian Motorsports Network Action. We do apologize for all the technological issues that we had to deal with, but thankfully we were able to get everything in and done tonight. So, with all that being said, next Monday night, it's not Tuesday night because it's Halloween, so we're actually doing it on Monday night. Next Monday night on October 30th, we will see you all around 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic for the third annual 2023 Indianapolis 250. Will Corbin McCauley be able to get the job done from the pole? Will Dylan Baum get 4 wins in 5 weeks, or does someone else visit victory lane here in the Dart Series on iRacing? Once again, everyone, thank you very much for listening and watching, tuning in to this live production, or the multiple live productions, as a matter of fact, tonight. We'll see you next Monday night. You will not want to miss history in the making with the third annual Indianapolis 250. Take care, and why the heck not? Might as well just hype it up with this little thing. Take care.